Okay, so the question is, the tell-off person back there should never pull the stock through the machine. That's true. They should just support it. All right, next question. It is safe to cut through a loose knot on the table saw. That means it's going to come out, right? Once you cut through a loose knot, it's probably going to fly out of the machine. So no, that's false. It's not safe to cut through a loose knot. And that goes for any machine, right? We want to avoid that. Next question. You must use the blank when ripping a board. So ripping a board with the grain. And the groove on the table saw is not showing. What must we use? Okay, once again, you must use the blank when ripping a board and the groove in the table saw is not showing. What are these called? Must use the push sticks. Okay? Next question. It is always unsafe to reach over the blank when the saw is running. So it is always unsafe to reach over the what? The blade. Okay, so we don't want to reach over the blade when it's running. And I would say that's probably a general rule for any of our machinery. You want to not have your arms directly over the blade or in the path of the blade while it is running. Okay, next question. You must use a machine if, you may use the machine if what? And if you have permission, if you've passed it by 100%, and the instructor is in the shop, all of the above on question number 16. All of those have to be checked off. All right, set the blade height how far above your stock? Do you remember what I said? How far does the blade go above the stock? 1/4 inch, okay, is the correct answer. And number 18, is that the last one? Nope, there's 19. Number 18, stock must be at least how long? I haven't said this yet. To safely rip. So that's not cross-cutting, right? Across the grain, ripping. What's the shortest length that we could use? And this goes for all of the machines. We want 10 inches minimum length against the fence on any of the machines to make our cut. Okay, we're not gonna do projects. It would cut it less than that, right? Shorter than that, but for our class in this school, we want it to be at least 10 inches so it doesn't move on you as you're cutting it. 10 inches long is minimum length. All right, last question. Never use the blank when cutting completely through the stock. And there's several choices there. Let me just tell you and show you. Never use, and I think I did this on the last video, never use the miter gauge and the fence when cutting completely through, because it's going to cut through this piece and kick it out every time. All right, so we want to use one or the other, but not both. So for cross-cutting, we would use the miter gauge without the fence. For ripping with the grain, we use the fence and not the miter gauge. Okay? So the answer on that, never use the miter gauge and rip fence would be the answer. Okay, that takes care of the safety test for the table saw. Oh, I was going to show you as well on our cross-cut sled, okay? We want to have our hands away from the safety block, okay? Your hands and fingers should go on either side of it, because that's where the blade comes through, okay? So you wouldn't want to have your hands and fingers there. You want to have them off of the safety block. So the rule to remember is don't touch the safety block. Left hand to the left of it, right hand to the right. And we're using this to cross cut, okay? Not to rip, right? That doesn't make sense. We use the fence to rip. This is only for cross cutting. It is a cross cut sled. All right, I'll see you next time.